Hey guys, what is up? My name is Ashley Nicole, and I am here to break down my 2023 goals with you. So, if you're new here, hi, hello. I am an indie published author, and I have 4 books ranging from dark fantasy to young adult dystopian. I'll link those in the description box below if you're interested in checking those out. If you are returning, well, it's been a while. So I have taken a bit of a hiatus, and I am kind of going to address why in my goals. So if you guys are ready, let's get to it. So I've kind of just jotted down like different goals that I've had as they come to me. So this list isn't really in any order other than I broke it in between work goals and personal goals, which some of them, I guess kind of sort of overlap, but meh. So I did choose a word of the year this year, which is the first time I've ever done that. My word of the year is change. So I really thought about, choosing focus or discipline. And while those are really good words, I didn't like how rigid they felt for me. And so I chose change because I feel like change it's very broad, which is kind of freeing for me. So I know I want to be more in control of my writing career. I want it to actually become more of a career, start making me a little more income, because I am, overall working toward that goal of being a full-time author, or at least having the ability to be a full-time author if that's what I want. So in order to do that, I do need to start taking steps to having a more consistent income. And so I need to change the way I'm doing things because I've been writing at a very slow pace, inconsistent with social media, inconsistent with marketing. So I just change. Change was a good word for me. All right, so we're going to go into work goals. So for my work goals for the entire year, which I also have goals for 2023 Q1, so that would be January, February, March, and we'll go over those. But this is just kind of overall for the entire year what I'm looking to do. I want to publish 3 books, which is a little ambitious. I haven't published 3 books in 1 year since the first year I published in 2020, and one of those books was also just a short story. So we'll see. But I feel confident that I can do this because I am learning better time management, which is later on down the list. So for the 3 books I want to publish, of course, the Sister Witchy book that I have been working on and kind of been leaving hints here and there. I made a mood board, so if you're not following me over on Instagram, you should. So you can go check out the mood board because I think it's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. But I'm calling it Project DTNT. When I do a title reveal, eventually it'll make sense. I would also like to publish Haven Book 2. So I probably should have started the Haven Book 2 first because I had a little bit of a high. I had a really good release for Haven. It did better than I expected, especially even in just like my hometown. Like people were like, I love this book. Like I got it into my school libraries and I do vendor shows in the area and people are like, this is the book. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I probably should have jumped on and did the second book right away, but DTNT was just a passion project that it needed written. Like anytime I sat down to work on Haven Book 2, DTNT was on my mind, and instead of not giving Haven Book 2 the attention that it needs to be a good book, because I have the outline, I know what I want to happen, but without giving it the attention, I don't think it's going to be as good unless I actually focus on it, because it's kind of complicated with like 2 timelines going on at once, which is different than something I've ever tried before. So I'm getting DT&T out of the way. And then we're going to go into Haven Book 2. And then the third book that I want to publish is Change of Breed Book 2, because yeah, I think some of my fans are trying to tell me that they really want a book 2. And I would really like to publish that one more toward October because, of course, being a zombie dog thriller, Halloween is just like my go-to time to publish. However, for those of you who don't know, I am getting married in October. This is also on my personal goals, so we'll touch on it again. But publishing may look a little wonkier than what I'm planning just based on that. Next on my goals is I want to grow my YouTube, my Instagram, and my TikTok accounts. So I am still going to be on Facebook just because locally, that's where a lot of my fans connect with me. I don't have to post there as consistently to tell them things though. Like I can post on there and be like, hey, I'm doing a book signing this weekend, and I get the engagement that I need from them. But as far as like connecting to a newer audience, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok are going to be my focuses this year. I am dropping Twitter because I can't get engagement. I give up. And I've heard that from a lot of other people as well, that it's just not the place for indie published authors. It's just not great for connecting. I mean, I have made some good connections on Twitter, and there's still some people that I still talk to. But as far as gaining new people who are actually interested in what I'm saying, I'll post something, and even when I'm posting consistently, I will post something and get one like. And to me, it's just not worth the time. I could be putting my time elsewhere. Let's see. So the next goal is to take more classes for writing. So I bought Publish and Thrive from Sarah Cannon over at Heart Breathings. I had bought her course. I haven't done it all the way yet. I bought her course, Publish and Thrive, and HB90 when she was bundling them together, and it was feasible for me at that time to go ahead and make the purchase. However, I have not done Publish and Thrive into its entirety yet, and I would really like to do that this year. She is revamping the courses as one of her goals, and I believe she's having one class this year in February. If so, I will absolutely be telling you more about it at that time because I love the course from what I've taken. I've already learned so much and I haven't even finished. And then HB90, hands down, it has changed my entire way of thinking for planning and time management. So I am a believer in what she teaches is actually things that can help us writers do better. And I mean, even if you're not a writer, there are people in her class that, are just small business owners, or they literally can do anything, but can still learn from her HB90 how to schedule your time and still get things done. Because while you're scheduling your time and you want to do all these things, you don't have time to do those things. And you have to look at that and then pick what needs to be done first. And she does a really... Don't go by my explanation, okay? Because she does an amazing job at teaching it and making you understand how to choose what you need to choose in order to move forward. Because that was me. Like, I really wanted to do so many things last year. And I hit so much burnout very, very early on. And then I just quit everything. I quit writing. I quit YouTube. I quit social media. Everything. I couldn't find myself to do any of those things that I wanted to do but couldn't. And it's because I was trying to schedule myself too thin. And so now I'm got less on my planner, but I'm going to accomplish more because it's going to help me stay consistent. Anyway, I wasn't planning on going off into that rant. That's one class I want to take. But of course, like I said, that's not until February. And then the other class that I'm already enrolled in is Mandy Lynn's formatting class. So I do the formatting for my own books by myself. I kind of self-taught myself watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to do it on Word. But I really want to work on a platform that is more geared to formatting. Word is for typing. It's not for making things look pretty. So Mandy Lynn uses InDesign from Adobe, and I love the way her books look. I will drop her channel down in the description just so you can check it out. But very, very pretty. She can do the chapter headers gorgeously, and I have a couple of her paperback, hard copies, a couple of her books, and they're just beautiful. I mean, they're simple but beautiful, and that's something I want to learn to do. And if I can get fast enough at it and enjoy it enough, I may open up, formatting for other authors, just because one of my other goals is to increase my income streams. Part of that is after I reformat all my backlist after taking the course is I want to upload them to different places. So, sorry about that. So my shark vacuum decided it was time to clean the house. But it is really loud, so we had to send it back to its dock, and it had to do its little, I need to find my home. All is good. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, formatting class, potentially formatting for others. Of course, that's going to be way down the line. But I want to revamp my backlist, reformat for both ebook and paperback, and then put them into other places. So I want to publish through Barnes & Noble, Google Play, iBooks, whatever they're called, Apple Books, there we go, iBooks. But just different income streams, trying to reach a larger audience that I'm not tapped into, which is KDP and Ingram Spark, which Ingram Spark, I don't even know if I've uploaded all my books to yet. Anyway, not sure on that. But I do sell all of my books through my website as well, the paperback versions, because they are signed, so I'll just leave that in the description, because that's like my favorite way of connecting with readers is signing books for them, putting in the goodies, wrapping them up real cute. I need to get better at not saying, I need to put that on the list. Anyway. So, increasing income streams. That's what, yes. Let's see. The next goal is I want to improve my time management and setting realistic goals and expectations. And then I have in parentheses HB90, so we already did touch on that a little bit, so moving on. And then the last one is, sorry, my ring light is casting a shadow. Oh, yes. Learn to recognize burnout, which we also touched on. I don't want to get into that slump again. But I think with the better time management and not stretching myself so thin, I'm not going to risk burnout. I mean, I know it can still happen, but I'm not headfirst diving toward burnout. There it is again. So that's all of my work goals, and hopefully I'm still doing YouTube next year, and we'll just do a reaction video of me reacting to these goals and see if I hit them, because I'm kind of hoping I do. So moving on to personal goals, I have be more mindful about meal planning and using the food that I buy. So I have been learning a little more about meal planning. I actually use a subscription service called eMeals. So it sends you meal ideas every week, and you pick the meals that you want, and then it sends your shopping list straight to Walmart, and you can pick like the items that you want. So like if you need like spaghetti noodles, you can choose if you want the Great Value brand or the whatever the fancy spaghetti noodle name is. Starts with a B, whatever. So you can pick what you want for the items that you need, and then have yourself go pick them up, like with the Walmart grocery pickup. So I have done that a couple of times, and I do really enjoy it because, one, I'm not browsing aisles and buying things I don't need. Two, I'm buying the things that I need for my meals, and that's it. Like, I have a plan. My only problem is, like, following through. So I have a calendar on my refrigerator, like a dry erase, and I write down, like, what meals I want to do on which day. That way I can lay out the meats and stuff to thaw. And I'm really bad at following through. because I will get home and be like, I don't feel like cooking. I'm going to throw a pizza in the oven. And so then all the food for that meal, like if there's veggies or produce or whatever, it can start to go bad because I didn't use it in time. And I do that a lot. So I need to be more mindful about not doing that. Let's see. And then I want to find and establish a cleaning routine. So I have tried this so many times. Yes. There is another YouTube channel. It's like That Awkward Mom or something like that. I'll link her below. But she tries several cleaning routines, like the Organized Mom, and there's several one of them. I will link her below because she's really funny, first off. And second off, I've learned a lot. But I need to establish my own cleaning routine that works around my full-time job and allowing me to have my writing time and allowing me to get my food done. And my vacuum is starting again. Hold on. Let's try this again. I don't know what my vacuum thinks it's doing. Anyway. So the cleaning routine. Establish a better cleaning routine. Not that, like, because it's just me and my fiance here. And of course, Stormy and River. But it's not like the house gets super dirty. But I think if we're more mindful about, like, if we take something out to put it away immediately when we're done, just because then things, like, kind of clutter up if we don't. And that's what makes the house look messy. Not that we're, like, trashing the place. It's not really necessarily that. It's just, like, keeping surfaces clean that I need to work better on. And then, like, maintenance cleaning. So, you know, staying up on dishes, staying up on laundries, things like that. That I just need to, like when I'm doing like my writing sprints, I need to be more mindful about doing the 25-minute sprint and then the 5-minute break, go and throw a load of laundry in, rather than just sitting and staring at my phone waiting for the next writing sprint to start. It's all about change, you know? So the next thing on my personal list is to prioritize self-care for at least twice a week. I mean, obviously, I'm going to, like, take care of myself all week. Like, I want to, you know, take my meds, try to journal, talk things out, normal things. But, like, prioritizing self-care. So, I enjoy bubble baths. So, at least twice a week, instead of a shower, I want to take a bubble bath. I want to have, you know, light my candles, make it feel special, have some wine, watch a movie. I want to enjoy the time, not think about anything else, not work, not writing, just be. So I want to do that at least twice a week just to kind of decompress. The next thing I want to do is to increase my savings. So eventually we want to buy a house because currently we are renting. We want to buy our own house. That way, a little more free range of what I can do with the place. I want to have like my own writing space because right now, I kind of fluctuate. I used to write in the study. However, the study is also my fiance's game room. And not that I can't write when he's gaming, but like I also want my own space. And so I have moved to the dining room table. And that just kind of is... I like to spread out, so the dining room table is always consumed by all of my book things. And so I've also moved to the guest room. But there's not really a lot of space in there either to like there's no desk in there, so I have like folding tables that I use every now and then. Currently I'm in the living room, so I eventually one day want to have like my own dedicated writing space that is just mine and I can spread out as much as I want. So increasing the savings to buy a house. Yes. Oh yes, the next one is to plan a low-stress wedding. I feel like that is a bit of an oxymoron. Like I said, I am getting married this year, and I'm really not stressed about it right now, and maybe it's just because it hasn't hit me because it is this year that I'm getting married. But I've done a lot of the planning. I have, like, my venue booked. I have my vendors booked. We're already making payments to everything. And I'm doing a lot of, like, the decor myself because, you know, I have a Cricut, and that's the thing I do now is Cricut things. But, like, I'm not so stressed about it. And I think I should be. Or maybe I'm just doing it right and having the low stress sweat. I don't know. We'll see as time gets closer. I'll keep you updated. Another goal is to wake up earlier. So on days that I work, I am supposed to be at work at 8, and I wake up at like 7:30. So, good thing I only live 10 minutes away, but, you know, I get up, wash my face, brush my teeth, throw on clothes, leave. Like, that's all I have time to do. And I would rather do more in the mornings, not even if I'm, like, writing or anything, but just, like, more for myself. So, actually having a nice breakfast, sitting down, enjoying coffee, journaling, maybe my tarot cards that I was doing for a while. But, like, I just want to get up a little earlier to have a little me time, and I think that will help with like the self-care aspect that I want to like maintain, because the next one is to manage my mental health better. That was a big part of why I took a hiatus, is my mental health fell off the wagon completely. I have now since started new medications. I have a new doctor who actually listens to me, and you know, I'm considering therapy. So I'm taking steps to better my mental health, but I want to also take steps to keep my mental health better. I don't want to fall back into the I don't feel like doing anything. So I think the waking up earlier would be helpful for that, because I could have me time, which is a little bit of self-care time, and kind of just more decompress. Like, I don't have to stress about being at work in the next 10 minutes. I don't have to stress about writing in that moment, because there's writing time scheduled for later in the day. So I think just that would overall help. Now I'm moving into like the Q1 goals. So these are the goals that I've made for January, February, March. This is based again on the HB90 system, where she breaks it up, and this is kind of how she explains it. Is you create goals that have like a two-part thing to them. So you have a goal where part of it is something you can control, like write a book. And then part of it is something out of your control, because that's what you're working towards. So write a book and sell 100 copies. So you can write the book, but you can't control if you sell 100 copies, because you can't control what people do. But the steps you take to writing the book and marketing could hit that 100 sales. Like I said, she explains it so much better. But I'm just going to run down through my goals with you for Q3, which I only have 3, which is what she recommends. And I have a good, better, and best. So the good is the goal I want to hit. Like, that's it. Better is like, wow, I actually did better than what I thought I was going to do. And then the best is like, I would be mind blown. I don't know what I would do with myself if I ever hit a best goal. But it's up there just as something to shoot for. So my first goal, goal 1, is to write, edit, and promote DT&T to get pre-orders. So the good is 50 pre-orders, which would be great. Good, great, better, best, you know. The better goal would be 100 pre-orders, and the best goal would be 200 pre-orders. I feel like 50 pre-orders is realistic, because I do have a pretty good backing for this book locally. And I'm going to like take pre-orders, like I'm also going to set up like pre-orders for signed copies on my website. So I feel like I'm going to get more of those versus like ebook pre-orders through KDP, but we'll see. And then as far as where I'm at with the goal, I have already started writing, of course. This was, I even started before NaNoWriMo. I've been writing this book for a while. I was writing it actually before I dropped off for 6 months of doing absolutely nothing. I'm just under 40,000 currently. But I've had like this major splurge. Like this past weekend, I wrote almost 8,000 words in one weekend, which I haven't written 8,000 words in several months. So it was great, and I don't feel burnt out. I feel ready to write some more. So that's where we're at with that one. So goal 2 is to increase my YouTube subscriber count by posting regularly. Okay, so I want to gain more followers. So my good goal is 100 followers, which right now I'm at like 37. So I feel like realistically I could hit 100 as long as I'm posting more consistently. My better goal is 200, and my best goal is 500, which would be crazy. And then my third goal is to reformat and revamp my backlist to make more money each month. Which that, I feel like I'm not going to hit that goal until the end of the quarter. Just because right now I'm going through the formatting class, like I told you. So I have to learn that, which it is a little bit of a learning curve learning a new software. Plus, I've not dealt with Adobe very much other than like editing my YouTube videos. So learning how to do the formatting and then applying it to my books and then uploading all of my books to all of the platforms that I want to sell on. So there's a lot of steps to take there. So right now, I'm not going to give you my monetary goals for good, better, and best, just because I don't want to have you guys compare yourselves to what I'm making, which is pennies. But I don't want, just because I am making pennies, essentially, I don't want it to look like this is all that you can do. Because if you're making more, that is fantastic. So I'm going to leave monetary values out of it, just for my own personal preference. Okay, guys, that is it for my 2023 goals, as well as my first quarter goals. And I hope this was exciting for you guys to get started in your own goals. And also, I hope this is more accountability for me to hit my goals. I am going to plan on sharing like quarterly reviews too. So at the end of this quarter, I'll tell you if I hit my quarter goals and maybe just kind of retouch on my yearly goals based on where I'm at. That way I can realign myself with what's working. And that way I don't feel like I'm falling short at the end of the year. So tell me about your goals in the comments because I would love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video and enjoy vlogging, lifestyle, writing, content, all of that, just make sure you hit the like button and hit subscribe. That way you never miss a video. I'm hoping to post more consistently this year, as I said in my goals. I'm hoping to at least do 2 vlogs every week, which is technically more work than what I've been doing, technically, but I've been vlogging all week anyway in the past, so breaking it up into 2 necessarily isn't that much more work, but it would make the editing process per vlog easier because it's shorter, if that makes any sense. So anyway, if you want to see more vlog style content and occasional sit down videos where we talk about goals, like, subscribe, all the goods, and I will see you in the next video.